Could more have been done to get 4-year-old R-Allyn Garcia away from his mother before she allegedly killed him? A state lawmaker says Washington laws surrounding drug use by parents are too lenient and may leave children like R-Allyn in harm's way. KOMO's Jeremy Harris is following the story for us. And Jeremy, where does the investigation stand tonight?
Well, the next step will be when prosecutors make a decision on those potential first-degree murder charges. But we're asking what was done in the days and weeks leading up to R-Allyn Garcia's disappearance and death. Everett police won't tell us if they had been at that house prior, and the state says they can't talk about the specific case. But a state lawmaker says the laws here in Washington are too lenient and are leaving kids in dangerous situations. There are still many unanswered questions about the death of 4-year-old R-Allyn Garcia. Police say his mother violently killed him on the day she was supposed to give up custody of him to her mother.
I think it is safe to keep kids in homes where there is fentanyl abuse, and I think that is crazy.
State Representative Travis Couture wants to know if the state could have intervened sooner.
Had we removed little Ariel and placed with grandmother, that would have been the perfect scenario.
You view this as a failure of state law as opposed to just a failure from the state agencies acting under what the law currently allows them to do.
It's a failure of both.
Couture proposed a bill this year that would have ordered child removal from situations where a parent is using drugs. But it's a divisive issue.
I want to be very clear. Substance use alone is not a reason for removal, nor should it be.
Opponents say drug use shouldn't be enough to remove a child. The legislature ended up passing a bill saying judges should give, quote, great weight to drug use, especially fentanyl, when deciding whether to remove a child. It also expanded support services for families with addictions. In the case of R-Allyn Garcia, his grandmother said her daughter's drug use was making her violent, and she feared she would hurt the child.
Had CPS, had Department of Children, Youth, and Families had the tools to say that that is an imminent harm, we're going to seek removal of the child and maybe a kinship placement with the grandmother. Long before that, maybe he would still be alive.
Now, while the state says they can't comment on this case specifically, they did tell me today that they do an after-action review or an investigation in cases where a child is killed from suspected abuse or neglect, or when a family has had involvement with state child protective worker in the year prior to the child's death. So that leads me to believe that there will ultimately be a report that can be made public that will detail all of the events leading up to the state's involvement and up to R-Allyn Garcia's death. Reporting live in Seattle, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.